For over 7 decades, the rivalry between India and Pakistan has remained one of the most volatile geopolitical flashpoints on Earth. Often referred to as a sleeping giant, this conflict involves two nuclear-armed neighbors with a combined population of over 1.6 billion people. While the world's attention is often diverted to Eastern Europe or the Middle East, the simmering tensions along the line of control represent a global security threat that could explode with little warning. Today, we examine the structural, historical, and modern-day pressures that are pushing these two nations toward a potential breaking point. From the hills of Kashmir to the corridors of international power, the stakes have never been higher for regional stability. The roots of this animosity are deeply embedded in the 1947 partition of British India. This single event triggered one of the largest mass migrations in human history, displacing 15 million people and resulting in the deaths of over 1 million during the communal violence. The hasty drawing of the Radcliffe Line created a geographic and psychological divide that remains unhealed. Since then, the two nations have fought 4 major wars in 1947, 1965, 1971, and 1999. Each conflict has reinforced a narrative of existential threat, making compromise a political liability for leaders in both New Delhi and Islamabad. Understanding this history is crucial to understanding why peace remains so elusive today. At the heart of every confrontation lies the disputed territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Both nations claim the region in its entirety, but control only parts of it, separated by the line of control. For Pakistan, Kashmir is the unfinished business of partition. For India, it is an integral part of its secular identity. The situation reached a new boiling point in August 2019 when the Indian government revoked Article 370, removing the special autonomous status of Jammu and Kashmir. This move was met with fierce condemnation from Islamabad and led to a complete suspension of bilateral trade and a downgrade of diplomatic ties. The valley remains one of the most militarized zones in the world. The dynamic between India and Pakistan changed forever in May 1998, when both nations conducted back-to-back nuclear tests. This ushered in an era of mutually assured destruction. Paradoxically, while nuclear weapons have prevented an all-out conventional war, they have also encouraged lower-level gray zone conflicts. Experts call this the stability-instability paradox. Because both sides fear nuclear escalation, they feel emboldened to engage in skirmishes or proxy warfare, believing the other won't dare to cross the nuclear threshold. With India possessing an estimated 160 warheads and Pakistan approximately 170, the margin for error is razor thin, and a single miscalculation could lead to a global catastrophe. The cycle of violence is often triggered by non-state actors and cross-border terrorism. Major events like the 2008 Mumbai attacks and the 2019 Pulwama bombing have brought the two nations to the brink of war. After the Pulwama attack, which killed 40 Indian security personnel, India conducted airstrikes in Balakot, Pakistan, marking the first time one nuclear power launched an airstrike on the territory of another. Pakistan responded with its own aerial operation. These incidents demonstrate how quickly a localized terror attack can spiral into a direct military confrontation. The trust deficit is so wide that even routine intelligence sharing has become nearly impossible. Beyond territory and religion, a new threat is emerging: water scarcity. The Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 has remarkably survived 3 wars, but it is now under unprecedented strain. As climate change melts the Himalayan glaciers and populations grow, the competition for the 6 rivers of the Indus system is intensifying. India is constructing several hydroelectric projects on the western rivers, which Pakistan claims violate the treaty by restricting water flow vital for its agriculture. With Pakistan's economy heavily dependent on the Indus, any perceived threat to its water security is viewed as an act of aggression, adding a dangerous environmental layer to an already volatile military rivalry. In recent years, the gap between the two nations' economic trajectories has widened significantly. India has become the world's fifth largest economy, with a GDP of nearly $3.7 trillion and aspirations to reach $5 trillion. In contrast, Pakistan has faced a severe economic crisis, grappling with record high inflation of over 30%. The India-Pakistan rivalry is no longer a localized affair. It is deeply intertwined with the rivalry between the United States and China. China has invested over $60 billion in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, viewing Pakistan as a vital strategic partner and a gateway to the Arabian Sea. Conversely, the United States has increasingly aligned itself with India as a democratic counterweight to Chinese influence in the Indo-Pacific. This great power involvement means that any conflict between New Delhi and Islamabad could draw in the world's superpowers, turning a regional dispute into a global conflagration. The border is now a front line in a much larger geopolitical struggle. Despite the grim outlook, there have been moments of hope. Back-channel diplomacy and the 2021 ceasefire agreement along the line of control show that both sides recognize the cost of total war. However, for the sleeping giant to truly rest, fundamental issues like Kashmir, cross-border militancy, and economic cooperation must be addressed. As India grows in stature and Pakistan seeks internal stability, the world watches closely. The choice is clear: continue a century of animosity that risks nuclear annihilation, or find a way to coexist in a rapidly changing world. The explosion we fear is not inevitable, but avoiding it requires a level of statesmanship that has been absent for decades.